Aymz here for Boxing YouTube and Boxing Social. I'm here with the new WBC Silver Middleweight Champion, Sam Eggington. Sam, how does it feel to have that title draped over your shoulders there?
Yeah, it's been a long time. I would say not a long time coming for this title, but the fight in general has just been a long time coming. You know, it's pushed back a lot of times. It's been a long camp. I'm just over the moon to get it out of the way and just have a few weeks off. Yeah.
A few weeks off will be well deserved, but that WBC title should in theory put you within the top 10 rankings. Do you want to push on with the WBC now and look at those fights around the top 10?
I mean, your man was ranked 8th.
Yeah.
So without the title, you know, I should pick up a decent ranking anyway. But with the title, you know, it might be a bit higher. So we'll have to look where they put me and who's around, when the phone rings and who's ringing. So you never know. But yeah, of course we're going to push for the WBC. You know, up the rankings for the WBC, whether it's super welter or middle.
Where do you expect to say? I mean, you said super welter or middle, but do you keep your options open here?
Yeah, I think, you know, this fight alone just opened the scope. You know, it'll put me, you know, at 2 weights for big fights. You know, I'm well up there now. You know, like I say, your man was ranked 8th. I've got 2 weight classes. You know, I'm pretty sure the phone will ring for both weight classes. And again, we'll just have to speak to the team and go over, you know, what's offered.
I was speaking to Peter Fury there, and he said there's a lot to like about you because you're a fighter who's travelled a very tough road, been on the fortunate end of some fights, but now you've got the backing behind you, now you've got that title behind you. How good does it feel to be in this position now when maybe there are times where you thought you wouldn't be?
Yeah, listen, there's been times where, you know, I've had a chat with John, you know, and my family, and I thought maybe it is time, you know, to give it a rest. Maybe it's time. But I've always been, you know, pushed, you know, between, you know, my missus alone. You know, we had out my first son when I was 17, and I said, look, I want to box. And she was well up, she was well up for it, and she let me go, and she said, look, if you think it's going to work, then give it a blast. And from then it's gone on. So, and since then it's been nothing but support between, you know, my girlfriend, you know, parents, siblings, you know, kids, so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm over the moon that I'm here now. You know, big title, and I've got something to show for it. You know, it's not been a waste of time.
A couple more things from me. I mean, Carlos, he came and played his part in there. He said in the lead up to the fight that he was going to box the sweet science and make it about that. Were you surprised at the way he boxed? And I suppose did you think it was an easier night than you expected it to be? Nah,
it was tough. You know, it was tough. And you know what? When he says sweet science, I think when I pressured him, I think he did have that sweet science. I think I couldn't pressure him like I pressure other people. When I did pressure him, I felt like he caught me more than when I was sitting off and throwing the jab. So he was clever, and he knew that was my style. You know, the pressure, and I think he knew that, and that's what he worked on. And when I did pressure him, it worked for him. You know, he had the slips and, you know, the big hooks and, you know, around the side, and he was good at it. But we've worked on a lot of things in camp, and it's been a long camp, so, you know, it's all been worthwhile.
2 more questions for myself. I mean, it must have been great to be back in front of your own there, chanting your name at the end of the night. They didn't quit chanting your name. I heard them myself. How great was it to welcome them back and welcome them back with the win? Again,
it's perfect timing, you know, to get the crowds back when I fighting for a title like this. You know, it's an accolade. It's nice to share that with, again, your parents, your missus, your siblings, and so on and so forth. So, you know, the crowds couldn't come back at any better time for me.
Final question from me. If you had it your way, do you want that rematch with Ted Cheeseman? Do you want the domestic fights?
Rematch come up for the British, I think it'd definitely be a massive option, and I'd definitely, I mean, yeah, I think I'd definitely think about it. So it'd definitely be one that I'd mull over. But again, in my career I've lost before. I don't chase rematches. You know, I try and build my own path. If the rematch comes up sometime, then it does, and we'll do it. But I lost against Ted. We wanted the rematch. You know, I openly told everyone that I wanted the rematch, and he said, "Look, I want to take my own route," and that's up to him. You know, I can't say anything about that. That's up to him. He's a nice kid, but he just wanted to take his own route. I wanted the rematch. So if it come up, it'd definitely be a massive option for us. Yeah.
Last quick one. You collected a lot of belts. You've got that one on your shoulder now. Where does that rank in the belts that you've collected? Where will that go?
This is gonna go above, you know, the bed probably. Yeah. There's not many. I mean, even the WBC actual belt is probably not prettier than the WBC silver. You know, this one's a nice belt. So So yeah, this one will take pride of place.
Sam, thank you for speaking to Boxing YouTube and Boxing Social. Congratulations again.
Appreciate ya.